Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Okay, the volume is all the way to the top. This is Beatrice again with Canada International Work and Study Resource Center, and I am your expert panelist. I am your host. So we are not just a consultancy; we're also an educative platform. And what we do is we tell you we provide you with invaluable information that is vital for your move or your travel to Canada strictly. And most of this information also do apply to other countries. Oh, I see one person just joined. Thank you so much for joining. I'd love to know your name in the comment section and where you're watching from so I can put you up in the screen, and this would encourage other listeners. Thank you so much. So again, this is Beatrice with Canada International Work and Study Resource Center, and I am your host. I teach you everything you need to know about Canada in order to avoid um, regret, in order to avoid pain, funds, unceremoniously, in order for you to avoid pain, deportation, and any other negative news. And guess what? We currently have an entrepreneur who got his visa approved. You can check that on our website. So if you go to www.canadainternational work and study resource center, I will also inform the administrative team to put it up on the page. We currently have someone who is a farmer. He's into plantation farming, who got his visa approved. So it will encourage you to use our service. We are affordable. We're called Canada International Work and Study Resource Center. We're affordable. We bank on integrity. We're ethical. We're ROCIC licensed. Now, guys, the Canadian government no longer allows consultants who are not licensed. So if you, peradventure, use a consultant to get your application or whatever, and they are not licensed, unfortunately, your application will be rejected or withdrawn. Okay, so why not use our service? We are licensed, right? So being licensed means we are governed and regulated by Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada. These are the powers that approve your work permit, study permit, permanent residence. If you've been following me, I always talk about these things. So they are the ones who do that. And guess what? We're in good standing with them. Okay, so we're in good standing with them. You can check us out on their ROCIC page to see if if you need like a proof or so. So we are legit, we are legal. And why should you use our service, right? First of all, we have a good refund policy. There is no consultancy in the world that is doing what we are doing, right? Especially towards Nigerians. We understand that the interest with respect to the dollar rate has soared with Nigerian recent government. So we will definitely ensure our price is very affordable. Our undergrad fee, I have gone out. Actually, I work with Canada International Working Services, but I actually went out of my way to go check the fees of other consultancy. We are the cheapest out there, and I'm being honest. There is no consultancy in Africa right now that is offering 250,000 naira, that is offering 250,000 naira for admission fee for undergrad. There is none. Go do the research. Waka now is not doing that. Waka now you have to pay over 2 million or 3 million, and they are non-refundable. We are refundable. In terms of admission, it's guaranteed. So undergrad fee is 250,000 naira. Postgraduate is 275,000 naira. Your visa fee is $500 Canadian, not US. Most consultancy in Africa is in USD. So imagine how that would be. Let me quickly say hello to one of our viewers. Kainde Komolafe says, hello, Beatrice. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kainde. I really appreciate you coming. I really appreciate you coming up here. Thank you so much, Kainde. I just need you to do two things for me. I want you to share this on your feed, share this on your stories, share this on your timeline so that other people will take advantage of our service. Trust me, it's really, really, really amazing when I hear people say, oh, where were you guys all this while? I should have found you all along. You guys offer free information. A lot of consultancy hoard information. You know why they hoard information? So you pay more money. I have a friend. Thank you so much, Kind. I really appreciate you. Please share this on your timeline. And please, if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay in the comment section. We want to keep the comments for the algorithm. That way, Facebook keeps our page going. I mean, if Facebook finds out that you are on the live and people are commenting, people are joining, it means it's good, right? It means it's helping society and community, and they want to keep it. But when they see that, I mean, the likes and all that is pretty low and people are not showing up, they don't like that. Okay, so please share this. If you're watching a replay, comment so that it's good for people to come in, right, and encourage us to show up more. So I knew a friend, like I was saying, some consultancy heard information. This is not to, we are people of integrity. We are transparent people. We don't tarnish other people for you to use us. By all means, if you want to use someone else, that's up to you. Just make sure they're licensed. But I just wanted to give you a reference. I had a friend who, even me myself, she went to a consultancy and she was asking a question and they told her to pay $250 for just one question. $250. So just to answer her question. This is not for application fee. This is just to answer her question. And she had to pay because she did not have the information and she needed the information. So a lot of consultancy, they hoard information. They don't want to tell you because if they tell you, it's like free information. But guys, you're getting all this for free here on our page. If you guys don't know how much, you don't know how much value you're getting. I don't think you know. If you even go on YouTube, there are some how do they call them? There are some YouTubers out there that talks about Canada immigration, and then after they talk about it, they tell you, oh, pay this money for us to do this. We are giving you all this information for free. It is not a paid service. However, if you want a one-on-one consultation, that is where there is a difference. And a one-on-one consultation is not just an ordinary consultation. We will assess you. We'll give you an assessment. Because the reason why we do that, and trust me, most consultants in Africa do not even give assessment. Once they get, all they want is get your money. Once they get your money, they put you in any province, you figure it out yourself. It's none of their business. They don't care. But we are people who are transparent and we actually care for your satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is our net worth. If you follow me on Facebook, you see that our customer satisfaction is our net worth. Because if a customer is satisfied, that customer will tell everybody around them. And that's how American, that's the North American spirit. North America would rather sit in one spot, do a job for 150 hours. They don't care. Look at Thomas Edison. Look at the list, the rest of them. They rather give you quality and ensure you're satisfied than doing something hurriedly because of the money. No. Canada will give you so much value. Trust me, even your education, you will be like, you know what, I'm not even paying up to, if you're going to check the worth, Canada will give you so much value. Guys, do you know that I'm not working with my degree? It's the skill and the experience I built in Canada. That's what I'm using to earn. So guys, Canada is a wonderful opportunity and you have us here, guys. Canada International Work and Study Resource Center. Book your consultation. Don't rush. There's this jackpot thing going on. I heard that the UK currently banned Nigerians from coming and everybody's jumping to Canada. Nobody wants to do consultation. Everybody just want to rush. It's fine. If you don't want to do consultation, you just want to go to Toronto, that's fine. It's your life. However, I would recommend you book a consultation so that we'll know which province works best for you. And by the way, I've talked about so many provinces. I've talked about Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, which falls under the Atlantic province and their own provincial nominee program. Please go listen to them. It's on our Facebook page. I've talked about Saskatchewan. I've talked about Alberta. I've talked about Ontario. I've talked about British Columbia. It's like there are numerous. I believe I've done close to 20 something. I've done close to 20 something webinars here, all for free. You can watch it, you can watch the replay, you can download it if you want to download it, you can watch it and come back to it, you can listen to it, you can share it. There's so many things you can do with it. You can even post it on your page if you want to. So please go listen to these information. And also, we'll keep you up to date. We'll give you up-to-date information. Guys, do you know that Canada has changed the express entry system now? It's no longer point-based. It's now category-based. In addition to the federal stream, the Canadian experience stream, federal skill trade and all that, if you fall under agriculture, you will be put in a category. If you fall under health, you'll be put in a category. If you fall under tech, you'll be put in a category. All these things I mentioned yesterday. So please watch the replay. It should be on our page. I see one person watching. Please let me know your name and where you're watching from. So today, guys, we have a fantastic news. And please invite your friends and family to come and listen to this webinar. Trust me, nobody tells you this. This is people's experiences. The title of our topic today is the top 10 questions that is usually asked by the Canadian Border Service. Okay, do you know who the Canadian Border Service are? These people have power. IRCC has power to approve your visa or give you work permit or give you study permit. But do you know the job of the Canadian Border Service? The Canadian Borders has the power to let you inside Canada or get you out of Canada. So whether you have an approved visa or not, it's not a guarantee you will enter Canada. People, please pay attention. I need you to share this webinar on your timeline. Please, this is not a webinar to miss. A lot of people came to Canada and did not enter Canada. They were able to be at the border, but they were sent back to their home country at the Canadian border. And Canada has arrangement for that. Trust me. They are said, they know what you're doing. They have arrangement for that, where someone comes to the border and they'll be like, nope, I don't need you in my country. Get out. They have that. So do you know some of these questions? And if you are asked these questions, do you know how to answer them? Stay tuned, okay? So I need you to share this on your timeline. I need people to take advantage of this. Now, before I proceed, I'm going to start with my own personal story. The first time I came into Canada, when I crossed the Canadian border. So for me, first of all, I used the Nnamdi Azikiwe airport in Abuja, Nigeria, and that took me to Germany, Frankfurt, Germany. And also in Frankfurt, Germany, they also ask a lot of questions as well. I mean, if you don't have a visa and you don't have a permit, which is a status, they won't let you go. They won't let you go to your destination. If your destination is Canada or the US, usually more because of the way the first world nations are, you have to transit through a European country before you get into their country. Okay, so guess what? So I was able to beat the jet. I almost missed my flight because I was sleeping at the airplane. And guess what, people? I went alone. I don't recommend going alone. Please go with your family. If you have a brother, if you have a sister, don't go alone, because I almost missed my flight and they had to call my name 3 times. And the last time, like, this is the last time. You guys know how they do it if you've entered like the plane, right? This is the last time I'll be calling passenger B0, this, blah, 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 blah. The plane is about to fly, passenger. And I ran. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I was sleeping. You were sleeping. We've been calling your name for the past 30 minutes. Girl, you almost missed your flight. So I was able to pass that, but I got into the Canadian border. I got to the Canadian border, guys. It was tedious. I mean, that was in 2012, and it was a woman. Women, please prepare yourself, because you don't know, fellow women. I mean, if it was a man, I mean, men are pretty easygoing with women, but sometimes women aren't very easygoing with their fellow women. I don't know why that is. Not all, though. There are some wonderful women out there. Don't get me wrong, guys. So I had the study permit. The study permit, like the study permit that was issued by Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship, was given for 1 month. I don't know why. Pay attention, people. Please pay attention. Do you know why it's given for 1 month? Could it be that if they ask certain questions and the foreign national immigrant does not answer, they'll send them back to their home country? I don't know. So they asked me the question. The first question they asked me is, what is your purpose of visit to Canada? What is your purpose of visit to Canada? Please, guys, Nigerians, we Nigerians, we are people who we like shouting a lot. If something is not going our way, we want to shout. We start shouting, we start fidgeting, right? We start giving attitude and mannerism and all that. Please don't do it when you meet these people. When you meet the Canadian Border Service, please behave professional. Behave like you're talking to the police, because these people have so much power. Okay? So, Kayinde Komalafe, you're right too. Yeah, thank you. So I told them when I'm coming to study, and please don't give short sentences. We'll get to them. We'll get to the different questions. I was like, I'm coming to study in Canada, and then I was 17 years of age, guys. So I was like, and I know that Canada is going to give me value, and I'll become valuable to society. And Canada is known as one of the reputable places in the world, so I believe the country would help me a lot. And do you know what they asked me? Are you going to return back to your home country? I'm like, yes, definitely. I'm going to return back to my home country to bring the value Canada gives to me back home, so that I can also help young girls. Guess what, people? They gave me a 2 years work study permit after that. Imagine if I had told them that I don't want to go back to my home country. So this is the thing. If you're being asked by Canada Border Service that will you return back, tell them yes. If you're on a temporary, except you have a permanent residency, please don't tell them you will return back if you have permanent residency. That will be shooting yourself in the leg, and they may actually cancel that. I mean, I've not heard them canceling permanent resident visa, but it could turn them off, you know. If they give you permanent residency, you should be telling them, well, I'm bringing value to your country and I want to stay for the long run and further help the Canadian economy. That's how you should respond. But if it's a temporary permit, be it work, be it study, you should be telling them, yes, you'll be returning back to your home country. Okay, understood. So here are the tests. So that's just my story. I just felt to chip that in there for someone who may not know. These people are pretty tricky. I've also gone to the US visa and they asked me tons of questions. Trust me, I feel the US embassy is even more tougher than the Canadian embassy, because I mean, US after the I remember US had a massive destruction, a Holocaust at some point. After that, 9/11. After 9/11, US became very strict. I don't know if you know what 9/11 is, but please go Google it and find out. It was a massive killing of people. So after those homicide issues, America shut their doors. I mean, they are very strict with people getting into their country, but it's not impossible. So the first question here, guys, is, and this they ask almost everybody this question, especially if you're a foreign national, and I don't know why, is what is your purpose? Why are you coming to visit Canada? Like I said earlier, if you are coming on a temporary basis, you want to tell them, well, I'm coming to study, or I'm coming to work, I'm coming to bring value to your economy in the long run so I can become an asset to society. If you are coming temporary, that's something you should say, right? And also they will ask you to show them, okay, can I see evidence? Can I see your documents, right? And then you show them, oh, here is my study permit, or here is my work permit, or here is my business, because people come for business. I mean, there are business investors who come and they want to purchase property. Now, Canada has changed their laws with respect to purchasing property in Canada. In Canada now, if you're a foreign national, you can't purchase property. They ban foreign nationals from purchasing property. I don't know why, probably to help residents in Canada to invest more. So some people come to Canada for business investment. Some people come to Canada for tourists, for tourism, just to come, you know, and take pictures and stuff. Some people come for business trips. Some people come for work. Some people come for study. Some people come for residency, right? So everybody has a different reason. But please be genuine and make sure that you are transparent in your answer, because if these people are trained, they will know if you're lying. Now, for people who usually come for visiting, which gets on the tourist visa, probably you came to visit your cousin. I mean, something had to take you to Canada. Now, for those people who want to cheat the system and want to get refugee claimant, they will know right away. And they may reject the person and tell them, hey, go back to your home country. They have a plane that will take those people away. Trust me, they do. They are trained. Anybody going out of Canada, they don't really worry about it. But coming into Canada, it is tough. They don't just allow anybody to get into their country. They are very structured and regulated. So please pay attention. Number two, how long will you stay in Canada? Oh my God, they always ask this question. Please do not answer and say, I would love to stay in Canada for 4 years because your degree is 4 years. Who told you so? Who told you you'll be staying in Canada for 4 years? Make sure when you're telling them when you intend to stay, it matches with your study permit. Okay, it matches with your study, not your passport. Your passport may expire for 5 years in 5 years time, and I usually recommend get a 10 years or a 5 years passport to avoid drama, to avoid, life can get funny at times. So make sure you have a 5 years or a 10 years international passport. So when they tell you how long do you intend to stay, just show them I intend to stay for although my program is a 4-year program, but I intend to stay for a month because that's the validity on my study permit, or that's the validity on my work permit, and you show it to them. However, it's a 4-year program, so I do believe I will renew the document as time goes on, and they'll be like, oh, okay, no problem. For people who go for study, for some reason, they give you just a 1-month study permit, and when you get to the border, they ask you questions. They run a lot of interview questions, and then they give you a study permit afterwards. I don't know why that is. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. If you're watching from Canada and you know why the Canadian government would ask so many questions before they give you the study permit at the border, let me know in the comment section. Okay? Now, number 3, they would ask you, do you have a valid international passport or travel document? A lot of people are like, why would they ask you that? Do you know that if your international passport is 6 months or less, you cannot travel? It's actually a crime. Okay, it's a crime. So please do not leave your passport until it's about 6 months to expire, then you renew it. Always renew your passport a year. The moment you realize, okay, my passport is going to expire in 2024, please renew it in 2023. If it's going to expire in 2025, please renew it in 2024. Don't wait until the last minute. Nigerians love last minute things. I mean, humans in general, not just Nigerians. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be biased, but humans in general love last minute stuff. Okay, so don't wait till last minute. The moment your work permit, study permit is about to expire, make sure you renew it at least a year before. Okay, The reason is because they wouldn't even allow you to cross your own border. They won't allow you to cross your own international border if your passport is 6 months valid or less. They shouldn't. I mean, because they know it's a crime. It's not acceptable internationally. A lot of people don't know these things. A lot of people don't know, especially 17, 18, 19, 20. You guys who are young, teenagers that are looking to travel to Canada for your studies for undergrad. Please pay attention to this. Make sure your international passport is 6 months or 1 year or longer, and always renew it. They have a Nigerian embassy in Ottawa in Canada. I actually renewed my international passport there, so you can go there, and it's pretty efficient now. There was a time there was complaints stating that they were slow, and they were very, very, very frustrating when it came to renewing Nigerian international passport. But that has been taken care of now, and they are more trust me, they're even more efficient than the Nigerian embassy, the Nigerian Immigration Service. I remembered when I renewed my passport, it came in less than after 3 days. I got my international passport. Do you know that this international passport thing almost got one of my friends deported back to Nigeria because she renewed her study permit? Now she's a permanent resident. All glory to God. She renewed her study permit, and then the Canadian government were asking her to bring her passport, and she was like, I don't know. You see, this Canadian Border Service Agency, they are different from IRCC. They make different decisions entirely. That you have a visa is not a guarantee you will enter Canada. You can go and see other people's. I know of a mother who came, and because she didn't include one of her child's name, they sent everybody back to Nigeria. You know, well, people will say it's Nigerians will say it's village people. But please, guys, do the right thing, okay? Just do the right thing. Now, the fourth question they will ask you: do you have a return ticket or onward travel plans? Guys, you want to be transparent here. For people who are transiting, so Canada has 2 international airports. The most notable one of them is Pearson International Airport. But you can actually arrive via Ottawa, because there was one time I arrived via Ottawa, and then I transited from Ottawa to Toronto because I was going to Windsor, and Windsor is in Ontario. So when the Canadian border officers asked me, "Oh, are you heading? Are you transiting, or Ottawa is your residence, is your home of residence?" So I'm like, no, I'm transiting to Windsor, Ontario. So I have to catch the next flight to go to Pearson International Airport. And then from there, I'm going to have to book a bus. And they ask me what bus. And I'm like, Robot Q bus. See, these people are smart. If you don't know your way around, they're going to be like, you want to take advantage. You just want to come into Canada. You don't have anything planned. Canada Border Service Agency, they love people who are planned. They love people who are futuristic, and that is why you have us, Canada International Work and Study Resource Center. For you as a student who would come to Canada and you don't have like a ride, you don't have who will take you to your accommodate your dormitory or your school residence or whatever. We have a service, right? We have an airport pickup service. So when you get to the border, and let's say the Canadian Border Service Agency officer asks you, oh, so after here, we're next. You can say, well, I have a wonderful immigration consultancy firm called Canada International Work and Study Resource Center, and they have, and you can show them on paper as well. Be like, oh, they booked my bus, and they'll be taking me to my residence. I'm schooling at the University of York or whatever college, if you're going to a college. And be like, oh, awesome. And one thing about Canadians, the CBSA, which is Canada Border Service Agency, they love proof. When you tell them that, please make sure you show them proof. Okay, they love proof. They love people go by what they see. The seeing is believing. Okay, now the next question they're gonna ask you now, for people who are permanent residents, hey, hello, for people who are permanent residents, you don't want to tell them you have onward travel. Okay, you tell them, okay, I'm staying permanently. Like if you're transiting though, because I mean, if your province is not Ontario and you have to go to British Columbia, you'll be transiting from Ontario to British Columbia, right? So you tell them, okay, I'm transiting to British Columbia. So please, you want to be honest and you want to be transparent. The goal is to be honest and transparent. You don't want to falsify anything or pretend that you're something that you're not. Be honest, and whatever you say, make sure you're able to back it with proof. Okay? Now, they would ask you, where will you be staying during your stay in Canada? This is where accommodation comes in play. Now, there are people who will say, when I get to Canada, I'll figure it out. Please, 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 please. There's no such thing as figuring it out. That's why they have Canada Border Service Agency, because they are there to scrutinize and screen you in addition to the screening that IRCC officials have done. If IRCC officials omitted something, Canada Border Service Agency will not omit it. They are trained. and they will be able to tell if something is wrong. Trust me, these people are intelligent. They've been doing it for years and decades, so they'll be able to know. If you're lying, they will know. Okay? If you say, if they ask you, okay, where are you gonna stay? Well, I'm gonna be staying with one of my auntie. When I get somewhere, I'm gonna call. They'll be like, this person is not serious. Make sure before you come to Canada, you have your accommodation sorted out so you don't suffer. Canada is cold, and Canada weather is very changeable. It may seem like it's going to be warm in the afternoon, but in the evening it may snow. You know, they say two things that changes is weather in Canada. Weather does change, yeah. So you want to have an accommodation, even if it's Airbnb, just tell them, oh, I'll be living in 2478 Border Crescent, Windsor, Ontario. Show them proof. Oh, yeah, this is the proof. I've already paid the landlord, or my immigration consultant has sorted that out for me. Because they want to know, yeah, will you be living? Will you be living in the airport, or will you be homeless? They don't want to hear that you'll be homeless. So answering the question when the Canadian border officers ask you, and you'll be like, well, I don't have anywhere I'm staying, I'm just going to rent a hotel, and then from there I'll figure out my way. That's a wrong response, except you're coming on a business trip. And if you're coming on a business trip, you should be booking a hotel, and you should be letting them know. And the reason why they do all this investigation is just in case of fraud, or say someone gets kidnapped. And you know, the world is evil. The world we're living in is very evil. You know what I mean. If someone was kidnapped, or someone is smuggling in stuff into the country, and they want to keep track, they are going to hold that officer responsible. They'll be like, did you ask the right question? Nobody wants to lose their job. They'll be like, did you ask the right question? So when they are doing their investigation and they find out that the Canadian Border Service Agency officer did not ask the right question and allowed a criminal into Canada. Like I heard there is a shooting recently. There was a shooting in London. There was a shooting in London, Ontario in 2021. I mean, for the Islam. So every year they celebrate Islamophobia with respect to four families. Who brought the person who killed those four people? I don't know. So the Canadian Border Service Agency officers, when they're asking you questions, don't see that they're attacking you. Never see it as attack. See it that these people are trained and they're trying to protect their economy. They're trying to protect their economy from evil people. They're trying to protect their economy from fraudsters, from kidnappers, from people who are going to bring nuisance to society. So that's why they ask this question. Okay? And if they find out, if there's a little bit of suspicion, say you're fumbling, they're asking like, I currently don't have a place. That's already a no-no. They'll be like, this person, something is not right. They'll start suspecting, or are you coming for sex trafficking? If they find out you're coming for sex trafficking, they're going to send you back to your home country. So please, you want to act all professional and know what you're doing and be transparent at all times. Now, this is another question they're going to ask you. Do you have sufficient funds to cover your expenses while in Canada? Say yes. Say yes, and show them your financial sponsor. For students, if you're coming to study, you want to show them your financial sponsors, bank statement. If you are coming as a permanent resident, that should be taken care of. You show them your job offer because you're coming to work in Canada. Okay, and you show them the name of your employer. Sometimes they can even call. Trust me, these people are so smart. With the things happening in the world, they can actually call and be like, hello, is this the financial sponsor? Do you know so and so? Are they your daughter? And they will have to affirm and say, yes, that's my daughter. Yes, I'm the one sponsoring her for school. Or let's say you have an employer. They'll be like, hello, is this employer with GT company? Yeah, this is Canada Border Service Agency. I do apologize. I just want you to confirm. I see that there is this lady coming in. She will be working as an admin assistant to your business. Do you authorize this? So they have to call and find out and know if you're being genuine or if you're fake. Okay, apologies for that. Now they're going to ask you, have you ever been refused entry into Canada or any other country? Usually they ask you this question on your documents, the document you sign. They usually ask this, but sometimes just for them to inquire and just to know if all things are safe, I mean, in the Canada borders and with the US, so what's going on in the world, they may ask such questions. If they ask you that question and you've been refused, say yes, you've been refused. If you've not been refused, say no, you've not been refused. Please do not falsify. Okay, it's just for them to keep track of their records. Now, they would also ask you, are you carrying any restricted or prohibited item with you? Nigerians, I know we like carrying food stuff from back home because there's not a lot of stuff, but with technology, they do have grocery stores that sell African foods and dishes, so you have nothing to worry about. However, if you're carrying any prohibited stuff, please say you are. It could be fish, it could be meat, it could be water, maybe something that is not allowed. Say, oh, I have water in my bag, or I have fish that I bought for my parents in my bag, or stuff. You just want to be transparent, because you don't want them to check and find out. If you say no and they check and find out, you can get deported back to your home country. So please be transparent at all times. They're also going to ask you, have you ever been convicted of a criminal offense? Usually they don't ask this question because IRCC should have taken care of all that. So your response would be no. Please don't say yes. Okay? Because if you had said yes, IRCC will probably deny that application. Number 10 is, are you familiar with and will comply to immigration laws and regulation? I mean, they don't often ask that question, but they may want to ask to see if you are knowledgeable about the Canada rights. Please do not argue with Canada Border Service Agency. Please, guys, do not argue with them. They are trained to do their job. They are doing their job to protect the Canadian economy. So if they are asking you a question and you feel that they are rude, please answer amicably. It's better for you to answer amicably, get into Canada, and then maybe later report them to the Canada. But usually they will send you a survey as well. You can put it in the survey that I didn't like the way I was treated at the Canada border. I felt I was being ridiculed, or I was being yelled at and stuff, and then you explain your case to them. But in the interim, while you are with an officer, that's not the time to fight back or yell. Sometimes I see people yelling back at them. Can't you see my passport? You don't do that. These people have the right and the power to send you back to your home country. I mean, some people are so bold. Except you have your permanent, even if you have your permanent residence, please be well behaved. Okay, it's not your country, it's someone else's country, and they're trying to protect their people. Canadians would rather protect a fellow Canadian than a fellow resident, a permanent resident that is just coming from a different country to their country. So please, guys, when they ask you this question, please respond amicably and professionally. Okay, so guys, this would be the end of the webinar. I hope you learned a lot about the 10 questions asked by the Canadian Border Service Agency. I'll be looking forward to your questions in the comment section. I will give you 2 minutes and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so so far Kainde was watching this webinar. I don't know if you are still here, Kainde. If you have any questions, let me know. This is the end of the webinar. I see someone just joined. Please watch the replay and comment #replay. This would help you a lot, especially for people who got their visa approved. Congratulations, your visa is approved. Congratulations, your work permit, your study permit, your whatever is approved. But if you do not answer the questions by the Canadian Border Service Agency accurately, unfortunately, you will have to return back to your home country. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, so there is no village people anywhere. You have to do things the right way. Okay, so any questions for me? Any questions or concerns? Again, this is Beatrice with Canada International Work and Study Resource Center. I am your host, and I teach you everything you need to know about Canada immigration, about moving to Canada, to ensure you have a smooth transition and avoid pitfalls, regrets, deportation, or anything that would deter your Canada travel process. We have good refund policy. We are licensed. We're CIC licensed. We are ethical. We bank on integrity. We are transparent people. We have a good refund policy as well. So send us a DM to book your one-on-one courses. It's just $100. I mean, you could use it to buy a bag or a shoe. Invest that in knowledge so you don't go to the wrong province and waste money and time. Okay, so until next time, it's going to be next week. Next week we'll probably start talking about Manitoba or Quebec provincial nominee. But glad you guys found information. Kainde says thanks for the information. Thank you so much, Kainde. I really appreciate you staying all the way to the end. And if you want to book your consultation, send me a DM. I'll be more than happy to help you. Or if you want to start your Canada dream. Okay, so let's see, John Olagoke. John Olagoke didn't type anything, but thank you so much, John, for joining. I really appreciate you for joining today. It's a pleasure. So that will be all. My name is Beatrice Oti. I'm your expert panelist. I'll go ahead and end this webinar. I'll be looking forward to your DM to respect your consultation and starting your Canadian journey with us. I hope you learned something. Share this on your timeline so that other people will take advantage of this information and avoid these mistakes. Thank you and have a good rest of your day. Bye.